I'm Miss Amanda. I'm the children's librarian at the Seattle Public Library Southwest Branch. Today, I'm going to tell you all about summer at the library, and we're going to read some books. And this is my dog, Lilu. Can you wave hello, Lilu? And you may hear some construction noises because they're doing construction outside. Well, today I'm going to tell you all about summer at the library, summer of learning. In 2020, our theme is Every Day is Earth Day. This is the Seattle Public Library Southwest Branch where I work, Miss Amanda. And you'll be able to remember it because I have orange hair and it is an orange building. Most of what we have going on this summer, you'll be able to find out about at spl.org. We have a whole page on our website about Summer of Learning, and you can download the reading log, find out the library's hours and information, and more on our website. This year, we're going to be doing more virtual programming, so keep an eye out for that as well. How the library is making summer fun. Of course, you can visit spl.org like I just mentioned. We're also investing more in giveaway prize books, so you will get to have your very own prize book. And we'll also have some take-home crafts for pickup at the Southwest Branch. So check back for more information about that. Now it's time for some books. What to read? Magic on the Map, Let's Move by Courtney Scheinmel and Bianca Ternetsky, illustrated by Stevie Lewis. In this book, Finn and Molly, twins, discover an old camper outside their house. It turns out their dad had traded in their station wagon for this RV. Well, their mom wants him to return it, but they want to explore it while they still can, so they sneak out at night in their pajamas and explore the camper. Inside, they see a map where the previous owner had put pins in all the places where they had been. And it turns out that this camper is a magical camper. Finn plays with the dials up at the front, and suddenly the camper moves, and they don't know how to control it or where it's going, and when it stops, they discover that somehow they're not in their pajamas anymore, they're dressed like cowboys. And they're at a ranch. And they have to figure out what they have to do here before they can make the camper take them back home. So they have to figure out why the camper brought them here. And this is the first in a series, so if you like it, there are already several more books. Next, I'm going to recommend Mindy Kim and the Yummy Seaweed Business by Lila Lee, illustrated by Dong Ho. In this book, Mindy Kim and her father move to a new part of the country after her mom passes away, and they're starting to try and get used to their new life. Mindy really wants a puppy, so she's trying to convince her dad to get her a puppy, but no luck so far. And she also really loves the seaweed snacks. I've gotten these before at Costco, and they are delicious. But Mindy's friends at her new school have never seen this snack before. At first, they think it's kind of a weird snack, but then they realize how tasty it is. And so over at lunch, she decides she's going to make some money by selling these seaweed snacks to her classmates. Maybe if she saves up enough money, she can get that dog after all. Next, I'm going to recommend Nina Soni, Former Best Friend, written by Kashmira Sheath, illustrated by Jen Koksmirsky. Nina accidentally messes up her friend Jay's pirate ship that he made for a school project, and now the two friends aren't talking. This upsets Nina, and she he keeps making all of these lists to try and figure out what to do for her own school projects that are coming up, and maybe how to reconcile with her friend and how to deal with her sister's birthday coming up. She loves to make lists that help her. And she lands on a science project using cabbage dye to see the different colors the dye makes for the different pH levels. It's a science experiment she's really excited about, but she realizes maybe it sounds familiar because she's already done something like this before. Next is Mia Mayhem versus the Mighty Robot. Mia Mayhem is a series of books in which superhero Mia goes around and learns new superhero tactics at her superhero school. And this time they learn how to enlarge things with an enlarging ray. So they do it on basketballs. But then Mia accidentally enlarges her best friend's robots that he made. So now there is a giant robot running around town, and Mia has to figure out how to make that robot smaller and save the town. Next, we have Desmond Cole, Ghost Patrol. Now museum, now you don't. I love this series. It stars Desmond Cole, a young supernatural detective, and it's written from the point of view of his friend and neighbor, Andreas. And so Desmond and Andreas go to a museum on a field trip, and Andreas is really dreading the butterfly room because he hates the idea of all these butterflies landing on him. And so Desmond convinces him to go to the mummy exhibit instead. Well, somehow they managed to accidentally bring all of the mummies in that exhibit and all of the other pieces of things that are not mummies in the museum. They end up bringing a lot of things to life. And so they have to come up with a plan to make all of these things go back to being inanimate objects. And spoiler, it involves a lot of toilet paper. Next, I suggest Sadiq and the Desert Star. So Sadiq is at school when his teacher mentions all of the different clubs that he can join, and none of them sound particularly like something Sadiq would want to do. He wants to kind of start his own club, but he doesn't know what it will be yet. His father tells him about the Desert Star that night as the brightest star in the sky that helps navigate people. And the following day, he goes on a field trip with his fellow classmates to an observatory and uses a giant telescope to look at Mars. And he gets the idea that he wants to start an astronomy club. Next, I recommend The Adventures of Allie and Amy, the Best Friend Plan. And so in this book, we have two best friends, Allie and Amy, and they want to spend all summer together, and they come up with a plan. But it turns out Allie is going to camp only a week into summer. So they really only have one day to try and fit in everything that they were going to do all summer long. So they try and cram it all in. They go to a fortune teller, they go to a fair, they go swimming, they go rollerblading backwards down the street. They try to get it in one day. But will they be able to before Allie has to go off to camp? You'll have to read to find out. Lastly, I recommend Everything Awesome About Dinosaurs and Other Prehistoric Beasts. And this book is a nonfiction book, which means it has true facts. On here it says a gazillion true facts. And it's all about dinosaurs, and there's a lot of really fun illustrations inside because it's written by Mike Lowry, who is an author illustrator. Very cool book. And all of these books are available at spl.org as a digital copy. So that's it for the book recommendations. Next, I want to show you a few things. So I've put all of the books into a book list online, which I'm going to put a link in the description for this video. All of the books that we talked about here and more. And these are all titles that can be found
digitally on our website. And so for that, I just wanted to quickly show you how to find digital titles on our website. So we'll go back to spl.org, or rather Books and Media, Books and eBooks. And then you'll see all the different platforms. So Hoopla has comics, if you're interested in comic books. And then we've also got Overdrive, which is the big place where you get all of the ebooks. So with Overdrive, you log into Overdrive with your library card and PIN. And then you can check out all sorts of books here. Right now we've got, I don't know if by the time you watch this video, but at the time I recorded it, the Harry Potter books were available with no wait. But we have all the books that I talked about today are available through Overdrive. I can also kind of show you in my account, once I've checked them out, I can find them online under my checked out items here, and I've got a bunch of them checked out. Like here's Dear Sweet Pea. I can read it in my browser. I can click on that and then just start reading it right away. So all sorts of great stuff on here that you can read digitally without having to come into the library, and you can do safely. And obviously when the library reopens or we start to do some sort of book pickup system, keep an eye out for that, and we will hopefully see you at the library this summer.